Very important question. Now, who is the father of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah? Abu Hanifa. And who is the Imam of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah? Imam Ahmad. When the Abbasid Caliph, who implemented the Sharia, he didn't exchange it, he implemented it. When he said to Abu Hanifa, let me make you Qadi al-Qudah, the chief judge, and give you a nice salary, did he accept it? No. He refused to accept the salary of the Caliph, even though the Caliph implemented the Sharia. He did not want to be on the payroll of anyone. And that Sharia, even though he implemented the Sharia, he used to make mistakes. And his mistakes were oppressive and tyrannical. So no classical scholar of the past is known to be on the payroll of leaders who dismantled the Sharia. There were scholars who were on the payroll of leaders, but the leader that they were paid by did not dismantle the Sharia. Ibn Mubarak's statement is clear. If you have a scholar and he goes to the gates of the leaders, don't trust him in regards to your deen, he is a thief. Sufyan al-Thawri said, I'm not worried about the leaders disrespecting me. What I'm afraid of is that the leaders will start behaving kind to me, so my heart will incline towards them. Whose statement was this? Sufyan al-Thawri. And when Abu Hanifa could not be controlled, he didn't pass the fatwas they want, they locked him up in prison. And what did they do? They poisoned him. And he died in Sajda, because he knew that they poisoned him. So Abu Hanifa, the father of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, died in a state of Sajda. The best position you can die in, the position which the shaitan envies you for most.
You said that Salafis claim piety. Is there any evidence backing that? If there is, what do they say?
I've quoted the evidence many times. The book is here. Where is it, the blue book? I would appreciate if the brothers are more observant. I've quoted the evidence on many occasions. A brief introduction to the Salafi Dawah. They said that we are the saved sect. They said the Salafis are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They are the Ta'ifa Mansura, the aided and victorious group, and the Firqa Najihah, the saved sect, which have been mentioned in the following statement of the Prophet ﷺ: they shall not cease to remain a single group from my community upon the truth victorious. They are unharmed by those who abandon them. So they have claimed it in page 2 of their book. I would appreciate if people listen more attentively.
They say thousands of people, they worship graves, but only about 50 rulers dismantle the Sharia. So why should we worry about 50 instead of worrying about 1,000?
Because the hadith is clear. Two sets of people, if they are upright, my ummah will be saved. Two sets of people, if they are destroyed, my ummah will be destroyed. The leaders and the scholars. So the shirk of governance is far more detrimental than the shirk that the Brahmins are doing. I hope that's clear. And the Prophet said, I fear for you this fear more than the Dajjal, wicked scholars. So the shirk of dismantling the Sharia affects the lives of everyone. For example, there is no Sharia in Pakistan, no Sharia in Bangladesh, no Sharia in Yemen, no Sharia in Algeria, in Morocco. So there is no zakah system, so the people are poor. So they come to this country for money, to earn a living. So they come to this country, to the Kafir country, to earn a living because there is no zakah system, they are oppressed. And when they come to this country, their daughters leave Islam, their sons sell drugs, and their daughters sleep around and become prostitutes. So they run away from the frying pan and jump into the fire. While if they had Sharia in their land, there was Sharia implemented, Allah's right was given to him, then they wouldn't be in this plight where they come to the West and their children become kafirs in front of their very eyes.
If the Salafis have the wrong Aqidah and non-Islamic belief, then who are the right Salafis?
We call them the classical Salafis. I said the classical Salafis are people like Safar Khawal and Salman al-Awda who demand the implementation of the Sharia and told the people in Saudi Arabia there is no Sharia in Saudi Arabia. These are called the classical salafis, not the Saudi salafis who cement the throne of the apostate leaders in exchange for money.
They say that the rulers are doing the less of the two kufrs. Where do they get their evidence from?
The salafis, what is general, they make it specific, and what is specific, they make it general. Now, when the Khawarij pronounced Ali a kafir, Ibn Abbas said kufr duna kufr, a minor kufr. So the fatwa kufr duna kufr made by Ibn Abbas was a specific fatwa passed at a specific time for a specific purpose, and that is to protect the character of Ali, the Prophet's cousin Ali, because Ali was promised the paradise. So they used that fatwa, which is specific, and made it general and used it to protect the apostate leaders who have dismantled the Sharia. So what they do, they misinterpret, misquote the fatwa of Ibn Abbas. Also, some scholars are of the opinion that the hadith kufr duna kufr is da'if. Ibn Abbas didn't make that statement.
Some people say that if all the scholars speak out, they will all go to prison. Then who will teach the ummah? Can you explain, please?
This is a statement made by Salafis. If all the scholars should speak out, they will all go in prison, so we'll teach the ummah. You have to understand that Allah Ta'ala has promised to protect His deen. Allah is a protector of the deen. And Bin Baz going to prison will do more good for the ummah than for him to sign on and get fat and cement the throne of King Fahd, because him going to prison will wake the ummah up. And look at a man like Nelson Mandela. He's a kafir, isn't it? But he went to prison for his belief, and that is democracy. Nelson Mandela is a Democrat, and he sacrificed, I think, 20 years in prison? 27 years in prison for democracy. So why can't Bin Baz sacrifice 27 days or 27 months for Islam? Are you telling me that Nelson Mandela has more iman in democracy than Bin Baz has iman in Islam? His state, his plight is pathetic. So Allah is the protector of the deen, and Bin Baz going to prison will wake the ummah up and will bring about the destruction of the tyrannical regime of Saudi Arabia. And do not think that Allah will not protect His deen. Allah said He is the protector of the deen. So Allah will never break His promise to us.
It is also said that if you speak out against the rulers, you will create more fitna, so it is better to keep quiet, as the condition of the people will not change unless they change themselves. So we must all purify ourselves in order to change the situation of the Muslims. Can you explain this?
Yes, the Salafis believe that to enjoin the right and forbid the wrong is fitna. Their definition of fitna is if you open your mouth and enjoin the right and forbid the wrong. We refute this by saying the Prophet ﷺ said, Afdal al-jihad, kalimat al-haq in the sultan, ja'ir. The best jihad is to speak the truth in front of a tyrannical ruler. So we prefer to go along with the hadith of the Prophet, where the Prophet said, the best jihad is to speak the truth in front of a tyrannical ruler. We will not go along with your dodgy aqidah. Also the Prophet said, Man ra'a minkum munkara falyughayyirhu biyadihi, fa in lam yastati' fa bilisanihi, fa in lam yastati' fa biqalbihi wa dhalika ad'aful iman. Any one of you who sees an evil act, let him stop it with his hands. If he cannot, let him condemn it with his tongue. If he cannot, let him hate it in his heart, and that is the weakest level of faith. So we have no choice. We have to do what the Prophet said: condemn it, stop it with your hands, or condemn it with your tongue, or hate it in your heart. So we are merely doing what the Prophet has commanded us to do.
What about the followers? No, those who go to the vote, you know? They go to the vote to...
The followers of the Salafis?
Yes, they go to the vote to vote. What is the verdict upon them?
Well, vote.
We have vote.
Some of them go to parliament, like
Yeah.
Dr. Rahman of the Khalid and those people.
A person who sits in parliament, first of all, is shirk to sit in parliament. And in the Quran, in Surah Nisa 140, Allah said, if you sit where Allah sends a ridicule, you will become a kafir like them. So a person who sits in the parliament and he knows that he's doing something haram, he has nullified the shahada. I think we can take one last question because it's very late.
One of the brothers is just trying to point out from the note